You were not created to settle where you are. You were not designed to be ordinary, average, or stuck in the same cycle of yesterday. Inside you is a greater version of yourself that is waiting to be revealed. Life will always present you with two options: remain comfortable or choose to grow. And the call on your life is simple: be better. Better does not mean perfect. Better means refusing to accept that the way you are today is the limit of who you can be tomorrow. Better means stretching beyond the pain, beyond the excuses, beyond the labels that others have put on you. You cannot control the circumstances you were born into, but you can control the choices you make each day. Every choice is an invitation to improve. Every moment is an opportunity to transform. Refuse to settle for mediocrity. You were created for more. This truth is not just a statement, it is a call to awaken something deep inside of you. Mediocrity is not a lack of talent, it is a choice to stop stretching, to stop growing, to stop reaching for the greatness that was placed within you. Too many people accept average because it is easy, it is safe, it does not demand sacrifice. But the moment you settle for mediocrity, you betray the potential that was placed in you before you were even born. You were designed with purpose, with intention, with the capacity to rise above limitations, and to make a mark in this world that cannot be erased. Every day that you accept less than your best, you live beneath your true identity. The tragedy of life is not that people aim too high and miss, but that they aim too low and hit. Mediocrity convinces you that comfort is success, that stability is fulfillment, that repeating the same patterns day after day is living. But deep down, your soul knows better. There is a restlessness inside you that whispers, you were made for more than this. That whisper is not an illusion, it is the voice of your destiny urging you not to settle. You must understand that mediocrity is not neutral, it robs you of the extraordinary. It takes away the joy of seeing what you are truly capable of becoming. Settling for mediocrity often feels easier in the moment, because greatness costs something. It costs discipline, it costs sacrifice, it costs endurance. But the price of mediocrity is far greater. It costs you your future, it costs you your impact, it costs you your legacy. You cannot afford to let comfort dictate your destiny. You must rise up and refuse to let your current level define your ultimate capacity. You were not created to blend in, you were created to stand out. You were not created to live unnoticed, you were created to make a difference. There is more in you than what you have achieved so far. There is more in you than what people see. There are levels of strength, determination, and excellence inside you that have not yet been discovered, and the only way they will come out is if you decide that average is not enough. You cannot allow fear to paralyze you, or failure to convince you that your best days are behind you. Every challenge is a chance to stretch beyond what is comfortable. Every obstacle is an opportunity to pull greatness out of yourself. Refusing to settle for mediocrity means raising your standards. It means not comparing yourself to others, but comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. It means demanding more from yourself even when no one else is watching. It means not accepting excuses, not lowering the bar, not shrinking to fit into someone else's expectations. It means embracing the truth that your purpose is bigger than your pain, your potential is stronger than your past, and your calling is greater than your comfort. Better is not perfection, it is daily growth and progress. Too many people confuse the pursuit of excellence with the pursuit of flawlessness, but perfection is an illusion. It is a standard no human being can ever attain, and the more you chase it, the more frustrated you become. The call to be better is not about living a flawless life, it is about refusing to stay the same. It is about waking up every day with the mindset that you will move one step further than where you were yesterday. Growth is not about leaps and bounds all the time, it is about consistent movement in the right direction. Even the smallest steps, when repeated daily, accumulate into massive transformation over time. When you focus on perfection, you become paralyzed by fear of failure. You hesitate, you procrastinate, and you hold back because you are afraid of falling short. But when you focus on progress, you liberate yourself from that fear. You understand that mistakes are part of the journey, that setbacks are teachers, that imperfection is the soil in which growth takes place. Progress is forward motion, and forward motion, no matter how small, is still victory. Better is about effort, not appearance. Better is about consistency, not applause. Better is about discipline, not instant results. Daily growth is a process that requires humility. You must be willing to admit that you have not yet arrived, that you have room to improve, that you still have lessons to learn. The danger of thinking you are already good enough is that you stop stretching, and when you stop stretching, you stop living. Stagnation is a silent enemy. It convinces you that you are fine where you are, but all the while your potential sits unused, your dreams remain dormant, and your true capacity lies buried beneath excuses. Growth begins with awareness, but it thrives on action. Knowing that you need to improve is not enough. You must be intentional about pursuing that improvement. Being better daily is about building habits that align with your vision. It is about choosing discipline over desire, consistency over comfort, persistence over pleasure. It is about showing up on the days you feel like it, and even more on the days you do not. Growth is forged in those moments when you push yourself to do what your feelings resist. Every day you wake up, you are given the gift of another opportunity to move forward. That day should not be wasted trying to replicate perfection, but invested in becoming a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. Progress requires patience, because growth rarely shows immediate results. Seeds planted today do not bear fruit tomorrow, but with care and consistency, the harvest is inevitable. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Do not belittle the small victories. Every repetition, every effort, every adjustment compounds over time into greatness. When you live by the principle of being better each day, you free yourself from the weight of unrealistic standards and embrace the joy of steady transformation. You learn to measure your success not by comparison to others, but by who you were yesterday and who you are becoming today. Pain and hardship are the training grounds for transformation. Nothing of true value in life is developed in ease and comfort. Diamonds are not formed without pressure, muscles are not strengthened without resistance, and character is not built without trials. Every struggle you face is shaping you, refining you, chiseling away the weaknesses that hold you back. Pain is not your enemy, it is your instructor. It teaches resilience, it awakens endurance, and it forces you to confront the limits of your own strength. Without hardship, you would never discover how much you are truly capable of enduring. Without pain, you would never tap into the depths of your hidden potential. Most people run from pain because it feels unpleasant, but growth often feels uncomfortable. Discomfort is the signal that change is happening. The resistance you face is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to prepare you. The fire that burns is the same fire that purifies. Struggle strips away excuses, it tests your will, it reveals your priorities. When life becomes difficult, you have two choices: give up and remain the same, or push through and come out transformed. The road of hardship is narrow, but it is the only road that leads to strength. Greatness is not developed in comfort zones, it is birthed in seasons of challenge. A soldier does not become battle-ready in times of peace, but in times of war. An athlete does not grow stronger without enduring fatigue, failure, and long hours of discipline. In the same way, you cannot become the best version of yourself without seasons that stretch you, break you, and force you to rebuild stronger. Pain reveals what is inside of you. It brings out courage when fear wants to take over. It exposes determination when giving up feels easier. It shows you that you are far more resilient than you believed. Hardship also humbles you. It reminds you that life is not always predictable, that success does not come overnight, and that perseverance is more valuable than instant gratification. When you endure pain, you gain perspective. You begin to see that every struggle carries within it a lesson, every obstacle carries within it an opportunity, and every setback carries within it a seed for a greater comeback. What looks like a barrier is often the very thing designed to prepare you for the next level of your destiny. The truth is, transformation does not happen in moments of ease. Transformation is the result of being pressed, stretched, and tested beyond what feels comfortable. Every painful experience has the power to sharpen you if you allow it to. Instead of asking why pain comes, ask what it is teaching you. Instead of avoiding hardship, lean into it and let it do its work. Pain is the price of growth, but it is also the pathway to strength, wisdom, and resilience. Those who embrace it become unshakable, because they have learned that the very thing meant to break them was actually the training ground that built them. The greatest enemy of your future is your comfort zone. Comfort has a way of deceiving you into believing that you are safe, secure, and successful, when in reality, it is quietly robbing you of your potential. The comfort zone is attractive because it demands nothing from you, it allows you to stay the same, it shields you from risk and from failure. But what it also does is keep you from discovering the greater version of yourself. Every time you choose to stay comfortable, you choose to delay your growth. Every time you refuse to step out into the unknown, you postpone the future that could be waiting for you. Comfort promises ease, but it delivers mediocrity. It promises safety, but it leaves you stuck. It promises rest, but it steals your destiny. The future belongs to those who are willing to be uncomfortable today. Progress is always birthed in unfamiliar territory. You cannot expect to grow while holding on tightly to what feels easy. Growth requires risk, and risk requires courage. When you remain in your comfort zone, you deny yourself the opportunity to develop the strength, skills, and vision needed to handle the greater challenges of tomorrow. Life will not expand for you until you expand yourself. The more you cling to comfort, the smaller your world becomes, because you limit your possibilities to what feels familiar. Staying in your comfort zone also blinds you to opportunities. Many times, the door to your destiny does not look appealing at first glance. It often comes disguised as a challenge, a responsibility, or a risk that feels overwhelming. If you refuse to step through that door because it does not feel comfortable, you miss out on the very thing that could elevate your life. Comfort whispers to you that you have more time, that you can take the step later, that the risk is not worth it now. But the future is built by those who take action despite uncertainty. Waiting for the perfect moment is another way of saying you are afraid to move. The comfort zone is also dangerous because it breeds complacency. Once you grow accustomed to ease, you stop hungering for more. You stop pushing yourself. You settle for good enough when greatness is possible. Complacency is the silent killer of dreams, and it always begins with the decision to prioritize comfort over calling. Your future is too important to waste in complacency. The more you delay stepping out, the more difficult it becomes, because habits of comfort harden into chains that are difficult to break. To break free from your comfort zone, you must change your perspective on discomfort. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, recognize it as the signal of growth. Discomfort is not punishment, it is preparation. The tension you feel when stepping into new territory is proof that you are being stretched into the person you were meant to become. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward in spite of it. The future you desire will not come from staying where you are, it will only be unlocked by choosing to leave the comfort zone behind and embrace the unknown. Every choice you make is an invitation to improve. Life is not shaped in the grand moments alone but in the small, hidden decisions that accumulate day by day. Every time you decide how to respond, how to think, how to act, you are either moving closer to your potential or drifting further away from it. Choices may seem ordinary, but they carry extraordinary power because they compound over time. A single decision to discipline yourself today creates momentum for tomorrow. A single choice to delay, to compromise, to lower your standards also creates momentum, but in the wrong direction. Your life is a reflection of the sum of your choices, and every day offers you new opportunities to shift, to adjust, to rise. The most powerful truth about choices is that they belong to you. Circumstances may not be in your control, the actions of others may not be in your control, but the decisions you make will always be within your hands. This means you have the authority to shape your growth, regardless of where you started or what has been done to you. Improvement is not reserved for those with perfect backgrounds or unlimited resources, it is accessible to anyone willing to make better choices consistently. Each decision becomes a seed, and in time, you will harvest the fruit of what you have planted. Small choices are often overlooked because they do not seem significant in the moment. Choosing to read instead of wasting time, choosing to exercise instead of staying idle, choosing to save instead of spending recklessly. These decisions may feel minor today, but compounded over months and years, they transform lives. The reverse is also true. Neglecting small disciplines may not appear damaging at first, but over time, they accumulate into regret, into missed opportunities, into wasted potential. Greatness does not happen by accident, it is the outcome of intentional choices made again and again. Improvement begins when you take ownership of your decisions. Blaming others, blaming circumstances, blaming the past will never change the outcome of your life. Every excuse robs you of the chance to grow. When you recognize that every choice is an invitation, you begin to approach life differently. You stop waiting for opportunities to come to you and start creating opportunities through your decisions. You stop wishing for change and start building change one decision at a time. There is no neutral ground when it comes to choices. You are either building yourself or breaking yourself. You are either rising or sinking. The difference between the person you are today and the person you want to become lies in the choices you make daily. Improvement is not an event, it is a lifestyle, a continual response to the question life asks you every day: will you stay the same, or will you choose to grow? The invitation is always there, but only you can decide whether to accept it through your actions, your habits, and your mindset. The world needs the best version of you, not a copy of others. There is something unique placed within you that no one else can offer, a combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives that were designed to impact others in a way only you can. Yet too often, people spend their lives comparing themselves, imitating others, or shrinking who they are in an attempt to fit in. Comparison is a thief because it blinds you to your own value. When you are busy measuring yourself against someone else, you ignore the greatness that already resides inside you. The call to be better is not about becoming a duplicate of another person's journey, it is about unlocking the fullness of who you were created to be. The best version of you emerges when you embrace authenticity. Authenticity is not about being perfect, it is about being real, being honest, and being willing to show up as yourself. The world does not need more imitation, it needs more originality. Every time you choose to suppress your true identity, the world loses out on the contribution only you can give. Your voice, your vision, your perspective, your strength, they matter. You were not placed here to fill space, but to fill purpose. And that purpose cannot be fulfilled by pretending to be someone else. Becoming the best version of yourself requires courage. It means standing firm when others misunderstand you. It means pursuing your calling even when others do not support it. It means choosing growth over approval, purpose over popularity, destiny over distraction. Many will choose to conform because it feels safer, but conformity never produces greatness. It only produces replicas, and replicas never change the world. Transformation begins the moment you decide to stop living for acceptance and start living for impact. The best version of you is also forged through discipline. It is not enough to know who you are, you must cultivate it through action. Potential without discipline is wasted. You must refine your skills, sharpen your mind, strengthen your character, and guard your heart. Every day is an opportunity to align yourself closer with the person you were meant to become. Growth is intentional, and the best version of you will not appear by chance. It is the product of daily decisions, daily sacrifices, and daily persistence. What the world desperately needs are individuals who refuse to settle for imitation. People who know their worth, walk in their identity, and live with conviction. The greatest impact you can make is to fully step into your uniqueness and allow it to shine. When you do, you give others permission to do the same. You become an example that freedom is found not in copying, but in becoming. Your responsibility is not to mirror the life of another, but to magnify the life within you. The world is waiting, not for another version of what already exists, but for the best, most authentic, most powerful version of you.